For generations, society has presented a very clear checklist for a successful life. Find a partner and get married, build a nuclear family, and align your moral compass with an established religion. Yet, if we look at the results of following those rules, the reality is bleak. Divorce rates remain consistently high, millions stay unhappily tied together, and demand for psychiatric therapy climbs. This forces a deeply uncomfortable question. What if the problem isn't that humans are failing to live up to these sacred institutions, but that the institutions themselves are making us sick? The mystic Osho rejected these societal expectations from the very beginning. When pressured by his family, he refused to enter a traditional legal marriage, and he equally refused to become a celibate ascetic monk, calling both paths ditches. To achieve true human freedom, he argued, you have to walk straight down the middle on a razor's edge, and that requires completely dismantling our most cherished cultural structures. Osho argued that the moment you become legally attached to someone, you forfeit your individual freedom. This legal bind creates a deeply unnatural state. Over time, genuine love naturally fades for many couples, yet they continue to force physical intimacy simply to fulfill a legal or societal duty. That forced duty breeds psychological perversion. You end up with a reality where a husband fantasizes about others, and she does the same thing. His counterintuitive claim is that if you completely abolish the institution of marriage, you wouldn't get chaos. Instead, divorce and prostitution would vanish instantly. Look at this flowchart mapping the downstream effects of institutional attachment. The central structure aggressively pumps out continuous streams of forced repression, guilt, and perversion. These byproducts then funnel directly into and sustain the massive modern psychiatric industry. Our society's primary vehicle for love actually functions as a factory, actively manufacturing widespread psychological neuroses. The church serves as the primary enforcer of these lifelong, unnatural attachments, dictating morality from the top down. But basic physical attraction is simply a biological reality. You see someone beautiful and you want to spend time with them. That response requires no divine permission or oversight. Osho pointed out contradictions in Christian theology, aggressively reframing the Virgin Mary story to question the entire concept of consent within divine intervention. He argued that these grand theological narratives, like the virgin birth, were simply invented by men to cover up basic, completely natural human biology and out-of-wedlock pregnancies. Religious dogmas do not represent divine truths. They are fabricated tools designed to weaponize our most natural instincts into guilt, ensuring we remain obedient to the institution. The psychological sickness generated by trapped married couples doesn't stay contained. It inevitably trickles down and infects the minds of their children. A nuclear family creates an incredibly impoverished environment. A child's entire understanding of the world is limited to just one man and one woman, and usually the constant quarreling between them. This diagram illustrates generational repetition. The rigid environment forces sons to become exact carbon copies of their fathers, and daughters to mimic their mothers. This forced mimicking destroys a unique life, breeding deep trauma and permanent resentment toward the parents for trapping them. The traditional family unit is not a protective sanctuary. It is an ugly institution that guarantees every new generation is trapped in the exact same trauma as the last. To break this generational cycle, Osho proposed a total replacement of the nuclear family with a collective commune. For adults, this means relationships are based purely on spontaneous love. People meet as opportunities arise, and the moment the genuine feeling fades, they say goodbye gracefully, entirely free of legal duty. The responsibility for raising children is completely removed from the biological parents. Instead, the collective commune takes over their care and upbringing. The closed triangle of the nuclear family dissolves into a sprawling web where dozens of uncles and aunts feed into the child's development. By experiencing immense human diversity, the child grows into a highly individualized human being, not a carbon copy. Think about the unfulfilling duties you force yourself to maintain. Consider the attachments you cling to simply because society expects it. True human richness and psychological health cannot exist alongside strict conformity. We only achieve them when we trade our comfortable societal cages for absolute, uncompromising freedom.